Welcome to this week's edition of Brother Nature. You're getting a live look at Niagara Falls, way out east near on Lake Ontario. I wanted to give everybody a look at what a windier, colder version is on the lakes, because if you pan to us inside the studio, we're a little bit warmer. And I'm your host, Jack Nissen, and I'm very excited to have all of you here with us today. We are talking Lake St. Clair Metropark, and here joining me is Amy McMillan. Hey, Amy.
Hey, how are you today?
I am good, and we're both a little warmer than we were the last time we met.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. We like to really explore the outdoors as much as we can, but of course, all of that can also be done indoors when we have the lovely video that we also shot a couple weeks ago when we were actually out at Lake St. Clair Metropark. They had quite the ice fishing excursion, but let's zoom out first. Amy, tell us everything there is to know about Lake St. Clair Metropark.
So Lake St. Clair Metropark is, of course, on Lake St. Clair. And for a lot of people who've lived in the area for a really long time, they know it better as Metro Beach, right? So you might hear me call it the beach or hear other people refer to it as Metro Beach. But it
will always be Metro Beach.
Thank you. Well, I kind of feel the same way, to be perfectly honest with you. But its formal name is Lake St. Clair Metropark. And it is one of my favorite parks. It's where I was an intern 100 years ago.
Where you got your start.
It's where I got my start at the Metropark. So it's my home park. And every single time I go to the park and I get out of my car and I stand in the plaza and I look out at the lake, I feel like I have come home.
That's very heartwarming, honestly.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, honestly, what I was impressed by was the amount of accessible water in the area. I mean, I'm kind of looking at a map on my own screen here, and like there's so many little options that I have to imagine make recreation in the summer amazing, but of course the winter as well.
Yeah, Lake St. Clair really is the star of the show at Lake St. Clair Metropark. It is spectacular in every way. It is a great lake for all intents and purposes, right? And summer is fantastic on the lake, but really Lake St. Clair is a place to be, all year long, because it has such phenomenal opportunities for everybody from all different areas of interest and levels of skill.
So we, of course, I'm sure there's plenty of events and opportunities to showcase throughout the summer, but we actually took a look at the winter. I'm interested to know, when it comes to planning out the sort of things that we can do at Metro Beach in the winter, tell us a little bit about the opportunities that are available.
So, there is something really for everybody to do at Metro Beach, at Lake St. Clair in the wintertime. We have a nature center there. We have programs that are going on all the time. We have great outdoor trails, nature trails, paved trails. It's a great place to walk, to run. We have people who use the park every day. You can't believe the number of people I know from Macomb County who tell me that they are in the park walking every day, all year long. We have spectacular pickleball courts at Lake St. Clair. We have a really amazing kids playground there as well. And then, of course, everything that you can do on the water. We have our Voyager canoe program that goes out when the water is open. We have our marinas are filled all summer long. And this time of the year, there are people who love to bundle up, put on their boots, take out their equipment, sit on a bucket, or bring a really fancy shanty out with them and enjoy fishing on the lake on the ice.
Have you ever ice fished before?
No, sir, I have not. I am not a winter kind of girl.
She just pipes it all up.
I have so much admiration for people who go and, what we heard this. We saw some of the people who were out there with their kids in the outdoor the ice fishing tournament, and a parent told us that ice fishing is like an outdoor video game for their kids. The idea of, you put you put your line in the water and there's all of this life going on underneath the ice. And I thought that was so fascinating, such a great way to get your kids outdoors, get them connected to to just nature in wintertime in Michigan.
Yeah, we saw really a big emphasis on getting kids involved, just with nature in general, but of course the sort of local environment there specifically. Can you tell me a little bit about, when it comes to the Metroparks mission, getting children involved in the activities there, everywhere really, but of course at Lake St. Clair as well?
So, our mission is to provide great outdoor recreation opportunities for everyone, to serve all the people of southeastern Michigan all their lives. And that really is one of the really important parts of that is engaging people when they're young, right? And instilling that love of the outdoors. And I think there's like something about outdoors in Michigan that is particularly adventurous, right? If you can get off your sofa and put on your boots and bundle yourself up and be outdoors and stay warm and comfortable, you can just, you can't have that kind of fun in Florida, right? Ever.
No, you can't.
And so I think there's just something magical about the size and scope of that, right? And it's right here in our own backyards, right at Lake St. Clair.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about the size of Lake St. Clair Metropark relative to the other Metroparks that you guys have under your jurisdiction.
Okay, so Lake St. Clair Metropark is small, but it is mighty, right? It's about 800-ish acres, give or take. And if you compare it to Kensington or Stony Creek, which are right about 5,000 acres, right?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's more of an immediate environment, right? You can walk or ride your bike anywhere easily in the park. You can walk out to the point. You can ride your bike out to the point. You can just like sit along the shore. There are all of those activities in that small or relatively small space.
And I also was curious. I know you guys have a Metropark down on Lake Erie. Correct?
Yes, sir, we do. In fact, it's called Lake Erie Metropark.
That's not called Metro Beach, though, right?
No, sir, there's only one Metro Beach. You're right.
Is there any differences? Let's say I wanted to enjoy one over the other. How would I make that decision, I suppose?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Toss a coin, whichever is closest to you. Lake Erie is a little bit at the end of the rainbow if you're coming from the east side and go all the way down to Lake Erie Metropark. But it is also this place that has these spectacular views of the lake. It has incredible wildlife all the way through the park. It has its own marina. It has a fantastic boat launch, and let me tell you, as long as there's open water, even if it's getting slushy and chunky, folks are putting their boats out on the water in order to fish all year long. This year is the first time that Lake Erie, the Great Lake itself, has been about 90% frozen.
Yes.
In decades. And so the ice fishing there was spectacular earlier this winter when there was ice to be had. And I'm guessing, Michigan being Michigan, some of that ice is going to be back before the end of the season.
Yeah, we could only hold out hope for so long.
Right.
Last question. So one of the big things I noticed when we were out there was the group that kind of put on this event. I think it was the Walleye Association. Yeah. Tell me, just broadly speaking, about the importance of that kind of partnership.
So I think that partnership is everything, right? Those are the people who are, this is their thing, right? This is their sport. This is something that they are really expert at. And so they're great teachers. They're great advocates. They tell great fish stories for the kids, right?
Oh, yes.
And really they help families connect to this kind of activity. And these are the kind of things for families that, that kind of bind you together over generations, right? Whether you're telling about the biggest fish you ever caught, or how you had to bundle up to be out there, and the stories that your parents told you, when you were huddled up in the shack. It's all about that entire experience, and people become great stewards of the resource. And those fishing clubs are really just spectacularly great at that.
We actually really had that on display too. And coming up after the break, we're going to have quite the look at what that experience looked like for the kids involved, and of course the people that oversaw the whole event. Amy, thank you so much for joining us.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Inside.
Inside, yes.
All right, stay here for more. We'll be right back after the break. And welcome back to Brother Nature. We're talking ice fishing at Lake St. Clair Metropark, also called Metro Beach. You learn something new every day. A tank could have driven on the ice over there 2 weeks ago. That's how thick it was. But of course, that didn't stop the kids from enjoying quite the afternoon trying to get their own catch. Take a look. Have you ever gone ice fishing before?
No, this is my first time.
This is your first time?
Yeah.
Is this your first time?
Yeah. Same with me. It's
Wow.
my first time.
Are you guys having fun?
Yep. Tell me that.
We're here at Lake St. Clair Metropark for the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association annual kids ice fishing outing.
Which hole we want to set up with here?
It's a free event for all kids. Free fishing rods, buckets, bait, pole, prizes, hot dogs, bratwurst, hot chocolate, marshmallows. What else is there?
Our club helps out with kids ice events and all kinds of stuff, but if you like fishing, it's tough to beat this area. Lake St. Clair's got muskie, sturgeon, bass, walleye, everything.
How big are the fish that you're pulling out of the holes then?
Probably like this big.
Like this big?
The allure to kids is just basically to get outside. They don't care if they're catching fish. They're out there playing on the ice, making snow angels, and they don't care. If they're catching fish, that's a bonus.
All right. So Keegan Hunter, you just got to the pond today. What's the very first thing you got to do to set up for ice fishing?
We have to find a spot.
How do you do that?
We look around and see where there's a lot of people but not too many people, where there might be fish.
Because what happens when there's too many people in one spot?
All the fish will go to one person. First you have to set up the frame, and then you put this like tarp thing on it.
Right, what does that do for you?
It makes it so that traps all the heat inside.
You guys want to open it up, show us inside? All right, what's the most important item you need inside the shanty?
The fishing pole.
Is there any secret trick to which one catches more?
You have to do something like this where you move it up and down a little bit because it gets more fish's attention.
Finally got through. The ice is about that thick. It's a fish factory out here. The DNR and all these other guys that are professionals and scientists and all this stuff, they say Lake St. Clair every about 5-7 days is all brand new water that comes through from Lake Huron and stuff. And it's shallow enough, gets sunlight penetration, wave action, the biomass they call it is just great out here.
It's just something to get the kids more interested in, besides telephones and computers and all this stuff. And a lot of them, that's all they do sometimes.
This isn't your first time? How was it like the first time?
We didn't catch any fish.
You didn't catch any fish?
Yeah.
Was it still fun though?
Yeah.
What have you caught anything today?
No.
Are you gonna catch something today?
I think.
Well, when they catch the first one, it really gets them going.
That's right.
And they get the second one and going, oh, let's put the thing away. I don't need that phone or anything. Let's catch another fish.
When it comes to getting kids interested, what's the importance of events like these?
Okay, so kids, it's to keep them active, to keep them busy. Because if the fishing's slow, they're gonna, and today has been a slow day, okay? They're gonna get bored.
Of course, it's not a bad day to be introducing kids to new sports, right?
Right, yeah, beautiful out here. I mean, we just come out of our shelter here, we stepped out in the sun, I was like, wow, it's actually pretty nice out here. And we can see right here, the snow piles, the kids are over there sledding down. You know what? Sometimes it's not about fishing. It's about getting out there and making other memories.
How long are you guys going to be out here then?
Probably like another 2 hours or so.
Okay. And are you going to spend it ice fishing or playing Native American?
Probably we're gonna set up the fishing rods in the holes, and then we're gonna play Native Americans, and then every once in a while we're gonna check.
And we'll wait for a fish.
I had a minnow on here, and now it's gone.
Sounds like you got someone in there,
Dun,
right?
dun, dun.
Those kids are so cute, really, really active. I don't know if anybody ended up catching anything that day. Apparently the fish were a little less active. It's probably because it was so dang cold. I want to give a special shout out to Richard and Joanne Koch. They both have kind of started the Walleye Association. They've been siblings, and they've been fishing since they were 5 years old. They've been doing this for 50 years. All right, coming up after the break, we have a very special guest of mine, my favorite photographer. You gonna say hi, Coulter? We're talking, was it chickadees, I believe?
Black-cap chickadees.
Black-cap chickadees. That's after the break. And we are back here at Brother Nature, and now we have a special little visit from our very own Coulter Mitchell. Hey, Coulter.
Hey, Jack, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Really good, thank you.
So the last time we had you on the show, we talked about things that live in the clouds. What were they called again?
They're little microorganisms that drift up, and Pseudomonas syringae is what they're called, and they just drift around in the clouds until it's time to come down and reproduce, and then they cause rain.
Your typical, normal thing you might find on a deep dive down YouTube. Yeah. Well, this time we have another really curious package where we're learning about the brain of a bird that grows in the winter. Do I have that correct?
That's correct. The black-cap chickadee, which are just absolutely everywhere. If you have a bird feeder, you see them all over the place, and they're smaller than a half of an ounce. And then they do these amazing feats with their brains to stay alive all winter, which is absolutely incredible.
Well, let's take a look at those amazing feats right here.
When it's cold outside, the black-cap chickadee has a lot to do to make sure its half-ounce stature doesn't become a feathered icicle. To help survive in these temperatures, extra feathers are grown. And amazingly, the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory, grows up to 30%. To learn more about this, I called up Dr. Bates from the Chicago Field Museum, and I said,
"Hi, Dr. Bates. Can you tell me about the expanding winter memory of a chickadee?"
It's an area of cutting-edge neurological research where they have the tools now to look at how chickadees change their behavior over the course of the year. And in the fall, one of the things they do is they start caching seeds, and they cache them over a large area. And then in order to cache, what is really beneficial is if you actually have the mental capacity to find what you cache. And it turns out chickadees have the capacity to actually add brain cells during that time of year in the right places in their brain, the hippocampus, to kind of go back and find what they've cached, and that's a really neat thing. This is the wonder of the science we do right now. Is there are techniques that are allowing them to get very detailed, real-time data on change in the hippocampus over time. That's demonstrating unequivocally that it's actually getting bigger.
The black-cap chickadee hides seeds to prepare for times when food is harder to come by. Its supercharged memory keeps track of thousands of hiding places. For the chickadee, memory can be the difference between life and death.
When I think about it, the first thing I think about is some of the things birds do with respect to flight, like putting on fat for migration and then burning that fat. You don't think of that happening with actually brain capacity.
A chickadee's supercharged memory has its limitations.
They're almost certainly not going to remember where they've cached everything. It's got to be a great dispersal mechanism for plants.
Even the biggest brains can forget things, and these forgotten seeds grow from their chickadee-chosen hiding places into the forests we see around us. The distribution, organization, and placement of plants in Michigan is some way a reflection of a chickadee's supercharged winter memory.
Amazing solutions for things that have the potential to be really valuable for understanding things in ways that might be useful for us.
How could we expand our hippocampuses by 1/3?
Yep. I'd love to be able to remember where my keys are all the time.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk about chickadees with me.
Okay, so supercharged memory. Coulter, where did you find the idea for this story?
I think it was in a book about how animals survive in the winter. I forget what it was called, but yeah, in some book somewhere I found it.
Do you know if this bird is the only thing that actually grows and shrinks its brain to survive?
So it hasn't been studied a lot, so we don't really know. But they think there might be like a bunch of other birds that use the same strategies to survive through the winter, but there's just not a lot of people out there studying bird brains in Michigan in the wintertime.
And I think for all the fascinating evolutionary biology that was in that package, I think the part that may have interested me the most is the maybe unappreciated influence that this sort of laying and hiding and forgetting of seeds actually has on our forests.
Yeah, these little teeny blueberry-sized mines that hide these seeds all over the place and then inevitably forget where some of them are, those seeds germinate and grow into the forest we have. So it's not... Chickadees don't design the forest, but they're an influence of what is growing where, which is kind of cool to think that the forgetfulness of a chickadee is the architect of our forest in some way.
That was so well put. We should switch seats almost, I wonder. And then, of course, I want everyone to know you actually are taking all of that video on your own. That's not just VO or dragging from some big server.
Yep, this is all big camera contraptions that I drag out into the woods and I connect to car batteries and I have motion sliders and all kinds of things going on. So it's a labor of love. A lot goes into it, and it's fun to do.
And finally, you got those videos of those black-capped chickadees. Where did you go to find them?
There, you put up birdseed and they come to you. You don't have to go anywhere to find a black-capped chickadee. They're wherever you are. They're really close to you right now.
Very, very cool. And then finally, is there anything else you're working on right now? Maybe you could tease.
Yes, I've got trail cameras out all over Detroit right now, filming coyotes. When it snows, I go and look for their tracks, and I found their tracks kind of coming in and out of places, squeezing through chain link fences and in and out of abandoned buildings. So I've set up trail cameras all over the place, and I'm putting together something on coyotes that I'm working on right now.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I can't wait to have you back on the show.
All right. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you, Coulter. And that is everything this week for Brother Nature. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to see you guys next week. We'll do it all over again. Thank you.